Morning, everybody, and welcome back to Behind the Curtain of Leadership. Last video, we talked about going from peer to boss, manager, leader of your former peers and the obstacles associated with that kind of move. And today, I'm going to be talking about transparency in leadership. So, some years ago, I helped facilitate a leadership development academy for some potential new leaders at the company I was working for at the time. And I was sharing some real life experiences with the group. And one topic was about transparency. And this was a time when being authentic or transparency at work was very popular, right? Everybody said, oh, you have to be authentic or you have to be fully transparent, right? So that was kind of popular at the time. And during my talk, I wasn't talking about intentionally trying to be transparent. I was talking about the fact that as a leader, you already are transparent. If you think you're being clever, strategic, or smarter than everyone by carefully avoiding a situation or handling it in an indecisive way, hoping the problem will go away, and you think those around you don't notice, you are dead wrong. You are dead wrong. You are completely transparent right now, and people see right through you if you're doing that. You cannot fake it, and you can either own this reality or you can ignore it. I worked for someone one time who was one of these people and believed in letting the team work out their own problems on their own. It was a tactic for them and it was intentional. And we all knew this about the person and we intentionally ignored that individual. And as a team, we did everything ourselves and that person was only our leader on paper. Good person, but was not a good leader. And unfortunately, this person eventually became obsolete. And this is what happens to so many, so-called leaders or fake leaders. So if you're a developing leader, never kid yourself into thinking that others don't see when you ignore a problem or a conflict, when you aren't dealing with difficult situations, when you don't create a vision, when you don't treat people fairly, when you don't hold others accountable, when you aren't consistent, when you don't set expectations, you don't set the tone, you don't establish a positive emotional connection, you don't inspire others, you don't really listen, you're not sincere, and you care more about your own goals than the team's goals. Do not kid yourself on this. Your team probably won't tell you in so many words, but they see right through it. And right now, it's permeating your team and it's becoming the culture that you're creating and cultivating. You cannot avoid it. It will not get better on its own, and the situation will deteriorate it. I have watched this happen so many times in my career, and the outcome is always the same. Look, your leadership style is a reflection of you as a person. Your personal values, your traits, your strengths, your weaknesses, how you view the world, and how you treat the people around you. This is why leadership is not a title, but it's who you are. It can be no other way. Look, if you value honesty, you'll lead with honesty and it'll become part of the culture you create. If you value accountability, you'll set expectations and hold people accountable, and this will become part of the culture you create. You can repeat this statement with any other trait, you get the picture. All right? Look, you're not expected to know everything and have all the answers at every moment. Even if you think you probably should, you're not expected to have all those answers. You are, however, expected to figure it out. And during this figuring it out period, it's okay to admit that you don't know the best solution. It's okay to ask for help from the team or from other resources. It's okay to try something new that may or may not work if you truly care about those around you. And they trust you truly care about them. But it's not okay to bluff your way through thinking nobody will notice. If there's a problem, conflict, difficult situation going on, you must get involved. You cannot stand by and let it work itself out. If you haven't set a vision for the team, it's your job to create one that the team buys into. Look, people always pay more attention to what you do rather than what you say you're going to do. If you say you'll solve a problem and then you don't, people see that. If you say you'll establish a vision that people buy into and then you don't, people see that too. And very soon they start to develop an opinion of you. And it's hard to undo this opinion. It's hard to repair this once it's established. One of the fastest ways to lose trust and credibility as a leader is to tell them all the great things you're going to do and then never finish any of them, right? That's why we talk about having a mentor, a coach, or someone you trust to talk through challenges you're facing is so important. Remember the video on imposter syndrome. If fear takes over, you may not even be able to make a decision, right? And then where are you going to be? Look, at the base level, most people want to be treated fairly. They want the leader to listen to them. They want the leader to be consistent, and they want equal accountability. It's simply not that complicated in what people want. And these are all basic things that establish a trust between, a leader and the team. And it's part of your responsibility as a leader to provide these things. People naturally follow people they believe in. So let them believe in you by seeing that true leader in you, which, whether you like it or not, they already do. They already see it. So here's the bottom line on all this as far as transparency. Do not try to fake people out as a leader, okay? Do not play games with your team members. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. It's okay to not have all the answers, and it's okay to ask the team for their opinion. Remember, people can see right through a leader who's being dishonest, and it will catch up to you. So many times leaders, and especially new leaders, think they have to be this all-knowing, all-powerful person. And, when they know they aren't this person, they try to cover it up. They try to act like they are. They try to, ignore the areas, like I said. They try to do some misdirection or some clever handling of a situation. And it's obvious, and they unknowingly start losing credibility. It's something I've seen repeatedly separate the good from the not so good leaders, the ones who make a difference, that create that emotional impact on others, that inspire their team to be better tomorrow than they are today. They're not afraid of not knowing, but they will get the answer. They're not afraid to ask for help. They're not afraid of making a mistake that everyone will see because they know they're honest in their intentions. Okay? So I hope this helped you in some way because, again, this isn't something that people tell you when you take on a leadership role, but one that makes such a big difference. So in the next video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the differences between managers and leaders, or management and leadership. It's kind of a sensitive topic for many, but you see and hear about this, all the time on social media or at work or anywhere, about this debate about, well, are you a leader or are you a manager? Which one's better? Which one's worse? Which one's more important? All that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that next video. Now, remember I said in my introduction video that, I can be kind of to the point and blunt at times, and I may be in conflict with what you're hearing from other sources or what some people tell you or what you might be hearing at work. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. That's absolutely okay. I'm just sharing, the experiences I've seen in 47 years of dealing with this and what really works. And this is why leadership is such a great topic to discuss and so important for each one of us and each one around us. So I have like 40 videos lined up about all kinds of topics about leadership and people and the kind of the working relationship and why we do the things we do and things I've experienced in my career. I think they're all relevant, but of course, since I made them, I would probably think they're relevant. But anyway, if you like the content, check out the links below to my website, to my book. Subscribe to the channel if you want to, but I appreciate it. And thanks for watching. I hope you stay engaged, and I will see you next time. Take care.